Folks, did you ever stop to think that everything we build has to have a frame? Well, it's a fact. And that's why we'd like you to meet our good friend, Mr. Strut.
Hiya, folks.
He's a mighty busy fellow these days.
Yes, sir.
Because, you see, he works with and represents the world's most flexible, all-purpose metal framing system, Unistrut.
At your service.
Thank you, Mr. Strut. Would you mind if we take a little closer look at your work? You see, folks, the basic components of the Unistrut system are simple, yet wonderfully effective. First, there's the Unistrut channel. Second, the Unistrut nut and bolt. Third, the Unistrut fitting. The Unistrut channel is open on the one side in the form of a continuous slot that has in-turned pyramid-shaped edges to provide a grip for the clamping nut. This cyanide-hardened nut has rounded edges so that when the nut has been inserted in the channel, it can be easily turned into position. The steel spring presses against the bottom of the channel, forcing the nut into position against the in-turned edges. Thus, the spring acts as a third hand, constantly holding the nut in place, ready to receive whatever fitting is to be used, and the securing bolt. Large chamfers on the threaded hole make it very easy to start the bolt. Now, as the bolt is tightened, the hardened teeth in the grooves of the nut bite into the relatively soft steel of the channel edge to positively lock the nut to the channel so that it cannot possibly slip. Also, the pyramid shape of the in-turned edges and of the groove in the nut provide additional bearing surface when the nut is tightened. Thus, both sides of the slotted channel are locked together to form a complete box section. This provides maximum strengthening of the channel at every point of connection. It cannot spread or collapse when the bolt and nut have been tightened. It's this locking action which holds sidewalls in the original position. The Unistrut framing system eliminates the need for exact location and drilling of holes. At the point where the next framing member is to be attached, the nut is easily inserted and turned into place. The spring holds it snugly in place like a third hand, while the fitting and bolt are added. The serrated grooves of the nut grip the pyramid-shaped edges of the channel, automatically centering the nut as pressure is applied to the bolt. Tension is set up on the fitting, which then acts as a lock washer to hold the nut firmly in place. Note that the metal of the channel is a different gauge than the fitting. More than a quarter century's experience has gone into developing a completely integrated system where all parts are balanced to each other and are interchangeable. Another Unistrut channel is easily and quickly attached to the fitting in the same manner. Connection is strengthened as the nut, bolt, and fitting close the channel opening, creating a true box section. These two channels are now locked into a single permanent unit, but they can be quickly released and reassembled if necessary. Yet the only on-the-job tools needed are a saw to cut the channel to length and a wrench to tighten the bolt. Not a single hole has to be bored. In fact, Unistrut channel has a pocket full of holes. Just cut it to length, slip in the spring-held nut at any desired point in the channel, and with a twist of the wrist, the job is done. If a change in plans or product calls for alterations, it's a simple matter to adjust Unistrut framing. If the weight carried by your present rack is increased, requiring a stronger frame, simply bolt an upright channel or two into place, thus reducing the span and increasing load capacity. Or, if smaller spacings are needed, the horizontal channels are simply moved closer together. If the framing must be moved to another location, or the space needed for another purpose, the Unistrut system again demonstrates its versatility. It's 100% reusable without waste, easily disassembled and used again in various combinations, or stored in small space, making Unistrut material ideal for either permanent or temporary construction. Compare this with the equipment needed in ordinary metal frame construction, as well as the extra labor, not to mention the fire hazard of the actual operation itself. Or think of the time, care, and skill which must be used both in the engineering and in on-the-spot construction from detailed plans with drilling and welding. On the other hand, the average workman of moderate skill enjoys working with the Unistrut system. Because it's an easy and satisfying system to work with, he gets more done. He's able to work free of nervous tension, since he knows it's completely adjustable and that if he makes a mistake, it's easily and quickly corrected. When the job is completed, he's justly proud of the fast, efficient, safe job the Unistrut system has enabled him to do. Because a satisfied workman is a good workman, the Unistrut system can help keep labor costs down. Well, that's all there is to it. Yet, there's actually no limit to the number and variety of problems that can be solved with these simple components, because Unistrut includes a wide variety of fittings for every need. All Unistrut channels and parts are identified, which is your guarantee of quality control. Unistrut channel comes in basic sizes ranging from 1 5/8 by 2 7/16 inches down to 13/32 by 13/16 of an inch, and in gauges from 12 to 19. Unistrut channel is also available with holes if desired. For heavier duty, these basic sizes are spot welded at the factory into many combinations which provide an even wider range of strength and adaptability. Usually made of cold rolled steel, many of these Unistrut channels are available in aluminum, magnesium, copper, brass, and stainless steel. There are hundreds of Unistrut fittings available for all sizes of channel. Any angles, any design, any pattern can be assembled by selecting the proper fitting, and side and end closers are available. Here at the modern, efficient Unistrut plant in Wayne, Michigan, the Unistrut system components are fabricated with the most modern machinery. Here we see the flat strips of steel being fed into the cold rolling mill, which, step by step, forms it into the patented U-shaped Unistrut channel with its pyramid-shaped inturned edges. Skilled machinists guide the Unistrut components along every step of their fabrication from the rolling mill to the shipping door, assuring a product of highest quality. Batteries of powerful punch presses form the angle-accurate fittings which make Unistrut a precision framing material. After Unistrut channel is cleaned and phosphatized, it is then prime-dipped to give a complete protective coating. Though the paint appears brown when wet, it later dries to the standard Unistrut green color. Here's the reason why Unistrut products are formed with such care and precision. Every Unistrut channel and fitting is engineered around this relatively tiny but very important component, the patented Unistrut spring nut. It can be said to be the heart and core of the Unistrut framing system, and actually saves users all over the world thousands upon thousands of man-hours in the erection of framing. In short, Unistrut is produced in the best equipped, most efficient, and modern plant possible, so that it's completely quality controlled. Yet it's also mass-produced for the most economical price consistent with the highest quality. It's this efficient, economical production, coupled with low-cost distribution, which makes Unistrut the very best buy in metal framing. When Unistrut material leaves our factory, it carries with it to points all over the world the Unistrut pledge of quality. When it comes to applications, the world's most flexible, all-purpose metal framing is virtually unlimited. In the electrical field, Unistrut material has for many years been the contractor's first choice to support conduit, cables, bus bar, bus duct, and other equipment. These metal clamps, as well as maple and porcelain ones for all types of cable or conduits, depending on the needs of the particular job, are all designed for use with standard Unistrut channel. The Unistrut system simplifies installation problems in the support of conduits and cables. This on-the-job construction demonstrates the speed with which conduit can be fastened to the channels with Unistrut pipe clamps. These neat banks of conduit at a power plant illustrate how engineering is simplified by Unistrut framework. This outdoor bank of conduit, supported by Unistrut, supplies and controls power at a large chemical plant. Here we see how the complete flexibility of the Unistrut installation allows new conduit to be added to the existing framework. Here a cable tray is supported by Unistrut brackets hung from the ceiling. While in this instance, cable trays are held by brackets supported by concrete inserts in the wall of a service tunnel. Unistrut framing is a natural in all sorts of electrical framing applications, such as supports for switches, meters, starters, relays, motor control equipment, transformer vault, and cubicles of all kinds. In addition, Underwriters Laboratories Incorporated have approved Unistrut channel and fitting as a surface metal raceway, tremendously broadening the electrical application of the Unistrut system. Unistrut framing has long been popular as a quickly erected, low-cost method of fluorescent fixture suspension. The channel is straight, strong, and rigid, and gives perfect alignment of fixtures in continuous rows. Unistrut continuous channel support permits wider spacing of hanger stems, which simplifies the installation and lowers cost. This joiner fitting connects standard 10-foot or 20-foot lengths of channel to form a continuous support and a continuous wireway. The snap-in end cap closes off the end of the channel. The snap-in closer strip closes the channel between fixtures when intermittently spaced, permitting wiring through the complete row. The hanger fitting wraps around the channel and connects and secures the rods or stems. Many contractors report 50% reduction in time and installation costs with the Unistrut method. In the mechanical field, piping for steam, air, gas, and water accounts for a multitude of Unistrut uses. Many types of supports have been developed which allow for breathing, such as these roller supports for steam pipes in a service tunnel. There are many Unistrut applications in the mechanical field in which products such as chemicals are moved. For these applications, a large number of fittings have been developed. There are several types of pipe hangers, and these Unistrut pipe clamps are made in sizes to accommodate piping from 8 inches down to 1/4 inch. One set of Unistrut pipe rollers, by its unique design, will accommodate all sizes of pipe from 1 inch to 36 inches. Unistrut framing also permits easy adjustment for any slope or pitch. There are beam clamps to meet almost any suspension situation. Unistrut continuous inserts are made from the various sizes of standard Unistrut channels. These can be supplied in increments from 3 inches to 20 feet and can also be cut to any length on the job to meet field conditions. Cardboard closer strip is available to seal the channel opening when pouring concrete. Unistrut originated the continuous slot type insert, which permits the inserting of nuts and fittings in any location, in any sequence. Connections can be made anywhere along the channel length without disturbing any previous connections. Unistrut also offers spot concrete inserts adaptable to many hanger sizes. Along with the larger pipe supports of all kinds, it was natural that tubing clamps would be developed. This clamp, like all Unistrut products, is simple, efficient, and easy to install. The tubing, which may be copper, glass, plastic, ceramic, or other material, is laid across the Unistrut support, and the clamp is snapped into the open side of the channel. No need to drill or discard the support as tubes are shifted or added. Unistrut clamps permit expansion and contraction of the tubing while holding the original position. This installation of a large bank of tubing at a West Coast utilities company illustrates the efficiency and compactness of Unistrut tubing clamp applications, which of course can be in any position as a bracket, trapeze bar, an insert, or part of an intricate frame. The basic qualities of the Unistrut system of metal framing, namely ease of installation, adjustability, and reuse, are perhaps more obvious in racks and shelving than in any other application. For example, prior to the use of Unistrut, these heavy dies were yard stacked on top of each other. Now, each one is easily and quickly stored in this Unistrut die rack, which makes for low-cost handling, efficiency, and good housekeeping. This rack is completely adjustable, can be enlarged, reduced, strengthened, raised or lowered, or taken down and stored for reuse of the material at a later time. Note the neat, orderly stacking possible with this general storage rack. Here is a typical Unistrut wire and cable reel rack capable of supporting tremendous weights. Saves warehouse space and permits easy handling of the cable. It's also adjustable for any size reels. These cantilever racks are supported from the center, permitting easy access to the stock because there's no need to dodge external uprights. For fast movement of heavy loads by modern materials handling methods, Unistrut framing provides sturdy and adjustable pallet racks like this. This giant rack, the largest Unistrut bar stock rack ever built, demonstrates what Unistrut means by strength without bulk. It has a capacity of 9,400,000 pounds and is 2 stories high with a catwalk serving the upper tier. This unit solves the complex problem of storing and handling bars, rounds, and tubing. It has 2,376 individual compartments to compactly store thousands of different shapes, weights, and sizes. These Unistrut framing members are assembling themselves into shelving for department store use. This rack has the space-saving feature of adjustable brackets and so can quickly accommodate changes in package size. This Unistrut framing forms shelving for groceries, while in this case it displays and dispenses paint. Speaking of adjustability, here's a quickie. This unique Uniclip shelving support provides another type of low-cost Unistrut shelving that eliminates the use of tools. It quickly snaps into the open slot of the channel and may be moved to any position. Wood, plywood, or steel may be used for decking. Shelf heights can be changed at will by merely moving the Uniclips on the upright channels to any level desired. By removing the clips and shelves, you can convert to a bulk storage rack. In addition, Unistrut material is finding its way into many other uses. It's now being used in art galleries and exhibitions. A very important use is movable partitioning, utilizing standard size panel materials of different types for low-cost space dividing for commercial and industrial uses. A recent use is in television studios for the support of overhead lighting and stage equipment. And the motion picture industry, not to be outdone, has utilized Unistrut framing to support the new wide cinema screens in theaters across the nation. Naturally, one would expect to find Unistrut framing being used by the airlines, where it forms sturdy and economical maintenance stands. Experimental buildings such as factories, schools, and homes are part of Unistrut's continuing research, which will possibly lead the way toward new concepts of building techniques and faster and lower cost construction. Because they're finding it practically indispensable, many of the nation's leading corporations are stockpiling Unistrut framing as they do lumber. Sears Roebuck and Company, Armour and Company, Union Pacific Railroad, International Harvester Company, Douglas Aircraft Company, the B.F. Goodrich Company, Chrysler Corporation, American Telephone and Telegraph Company, the United States government. It's the recognition of customers such as these which has resulted in the remarkable expansion of the Unistrut organization in the United States and throughout the world. Complete warehouse stocks, engineering, and sales services are maintained in all key cities. Distributors such as this, with their expert personnel, are ready to help solve your framing problems. An outstanding aid in customer service is a fleet of completely equipped cars which bring the actual product to the customer in a practical demonstration of its many applications. Unistrut channel and parts are easy to order. These catalogs and bulletins are available free on request, and you'll find them arranged for ready reference. Illustrations and explanatory notes will aid you in identifying the Unistrut components, and you'll find full information about any problem that may come up. With the catalogs and this slide rule type load selector, you can quickly and accurately determine permissible loads, and you'll find that any conceivable problem in framing construction, including the new dramatic conception of space frames, can be solved quickly and economically with the Unistrut system of metal framing. Thousands upon thousands of different jobs from our files clearly prove that wherever frames and supports must be built, the Unistrut metal framing system is the demonstrated leader, both in quality and economy. Cable supports, conduit supports, control equipment, fluorescent fixture supports, bus bar supports, trapeze hangers, transformer support, cubicles, beam clamps, pipe hangers, pipe clamps, pipe rollers, concrete inserts, brick inserts, brackets, tubing clamps, tunnel framework and supports, pallet racks, bar stock racks, die racks, wire and cable reel racks, general storage racks, display racks, machinery mounts, workbenches, conveyors, adjustable shelving, partitions, carports, tent frames, TV studio lighting, cinemascope screen frames, displays, space frames, and so it goes. The list of time and money-saving applications is endless. With Unistrut and your imagination, you can build almost anything. The sky's the limit.
That's the simple truth, folks. Millions of feet are being used all the time, all over the world, saving people time and money. Sure keeps me busy. Well, so long. I'll be seeing you. And don't forget, the sky's the limit when you build with Unistrut.
Yes, sir. Mr. Strut's right. There's just no limit to the jobs he can do. Stop and think a minute right now. How can Unistrut serve you?